The Olympics just create a parody of Jesus' Last Supper with drag queens.
All right, let's see it.
Well, that is the question being asked after last night's Olympic ceremony took place.
And you already answered your own question by showing that clip with that blue figure in front of the table. Who on earth do they represent in the painting The Last Supper? Nobody. That's Dionysus. Even the actor who portrayed that character said, this is Dionysus. Even the Olympics said, this is Dionysus. This is an allusion to a painting that is housed in a church in France called the Feast of the Gods, which depicts Dionysus feasting in front of a table where there's a wedding feast going on, where Apollo is featured at the center of the table with a halo behind his head. The Olympics version has the person seated in the middle wearing a 7-pointed halo. That originates in Greek iconography that was borrowed into Christianity. That is associated with Apollo, with Helios, with Dionysus, with other deities that represent the sun or are merged with it. It has nothing to do with the Last Supper.
In a couple of the acts, some are claiming that religious imagery was used, like the golden calf.
That is not the golden calf. That is a statue called Bull and Deer. It was created by Paul Jouve in 1937 for a contest in France. It has been housed at the Trocadero for many decades, and that temporary stage was built in the Trocadero around the statues that are there. It has absolutely nothing to do with worship or with the golden calf.
The fourth horseman.
See my video number McClellan 2175 for why it is monumentally stupid to think that horse represents any of the horsemen of the apocalypse.
And one scene in particular is being compared to Leonardo da Vinci's mural of Jesus and his 12 disciples. In the scene, broadcast cameras pan out on a number of drag queens standing behind a raised stage, with one in the middle wearing a piece on her head that is likened to religious drawings of a halo with lines of light emanating out of it. Some outraged with this scene said this is extremely disrespectful to Christians, and that the Olympics declared loudly that the 2.4 billion Christians on Earth are not welcome.
So the only thing being disrespected here is a competent grasp of culture. Because this outrage, whether it's real or feigned, is phenomenally hypocritical and misplaced, because this isn't about the Last Supper. But even if it were, there's nothing wrong with using imagery from a famous piece of art to offer some social commentary. As Jesus would have eaten with drag queens, they're allowed to say, hey, we have a seat at this table as well. And there would have been the same hypocrites out front gnashing their teeth at them the whole time too. And even if it is intended to be a critique, or heaven forbid, mockery, you don't get to spend so much time and effort trying to convince the world that everybody's part of a Christian culture, that Western civilization was built by Christianity, that is the foundation of our art and architecture and literature and law and everything, and then turn around and try to police who's allowed to critique it and which critiques are allowed. If they were born and raised in that culture, then that's their culture too. So, irrespective of what was intended here, trying to demonize and vilify these folks just so you can be persecuted, so you can feel like you're in the last days, so you can read yourself into the book of Revelation, is phenomenally harmful and hypocritical, and you need to do better. And the fit for this video has been Wolverine.